Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unlocking the actual mechanics of spoken English. Whether you're trying to be understood perfectly in a loud, crowded room, or you just want to feel way more self-assured when you speak, mastering the physical foundations of pronunciation is absolutely the key.
Now listen, have you ever said one simple word but people heard something completely different? Imagine you're at the hardware store and you accidentally ask for a beat instead of a drill bit. It happens all the time. That tiny, almost invisible vowel difference is what separates clear communication from total confusion. And as you'll see, it all comes down to incredibly subtle movements of your mouth.
So here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll cover the foundation of pronunciation. Then, vowels and consonants explained, followed by common pronunciation mistakes, mastering word stress, sentence rhythm and flow, and finally, your daily practice guide. We're taking a micro to macro approach today, starting with the absolute smallest units of sound and building all the way up to flowing sentences.
All right, Section 1, the foundation of pronunciation, getting the basics right. Let's explore the absolute foundation of how we actually generate sound.
Pronunciation is defined as the correct way to produce the sounds of words using your lips, tongue, teeth, and airflow. And I really want you to focus on those physical elements, your articulators. See, we often think of language as purely mental, right? Like memorizing vocabulary or cramming grammar rules. But pronunciation is fundamentally a physical, mechanical skill. It's literally muscle memory. Just like learning to play the guitar or ride a bike, training your lips, tongue, teeth, and airflow to manipulate sound waves is a physical action that absolutely anyone can master to immediately boost their confidence.
Moving on to Section 2, Vowels and Consonants Explained, the building blocks of sound. Let's see how these build our English foundation from the ground up.
We start with the smallest possible units of sound, vowels, like A, E, I, O, and U, found in apple and egg, and consonants, like B, C, D, found in ball, cat, and dog. The magic of English is that every single word is just a combination of these two sound types interacting, but it's the mechanics that really matter here. Vowels are created by open, unobstructed breath. They provide the volume, the emotion, the core of the syllable. Consonants, on the other hand, involve friction or stoppage. You use your articulators, your teeth, lips, or tongue to restrict that airflow. They provide the crisp borders and the actual shape of the words.
When we look a little closer at vowels, we find short sounds, cat, bed, sit, pot, cup, and long ones, cake, tree, bike, home, cube. Actually, I want you to practice those longer words out loud right now. Cake, tree, bike. Did you feel it? Watch how your mouth literally stretches out longer when you say the long vowels, compared to the quick snap of the short ones. That physical stretching is the mechanical secret to getting them exactly right.
Okay, Section 3, Common Pronunciation Mistakes, Why Tiny Details Matter. Let's look at what happens when those physical movements just slightly miss the mark.
This brings us to minimal pairs, words separated by only one tiny sound. If you don't stretch your vowel properly, sheep becomes ship. Think about that. One tiny, millimeter movement changes a farm animal into a massive boat. And with fan versus van, the difference is entirely about voicing the airflow through your teeth. For fan, it's unvoiced, just pure air passing through. For van, you actually engage your vocal cords so they vibrate. Get that single mechanical step wrong, and you're no longer talking about a cool breeze, you're talking about a vehicle.
Let's try another set of minimal pairs. Think versus sink, and rice versus rise. Go ahead and say these pairs out loud right now wherever you are. Pay really close attention to how your tongue and teeth placement shifts. For think, your tongue is placed right between your front teeth, blowing air. But for sink, it's pulled back behind your teeth, creating this hissing friction. Similarly, with rice, the S sound is just unvoiced breath, but in rise, it transforms into a vibrating, voiced Z sound. If you don't make those exact physical shifts, your listener is going to hear the wrong word entirely.
Section 4, Mastering Word Stress, Finding the Rhythm in Words. Moving up from individual sounds, let's look at how we build entire words using stress.
English is a highly rhythmic language, and every multi-syllable word basically has a heartbeat. Take the word table. It's not flat. You don't just say ta-bull. You have to punch that first syllable hard with your voice. Table. That extra push of airflow and volume, that is word stress. Now let's look at a three-syllable word. Try this one aloud, and notice how the bouncing rhythm shifts so the stress lands perfectly in the middle. Com-pute-er. Computer. Do you hear that bounce?
Here's a genuinely fascinating insight. Native English speakers actually rely more on word stress to recognize a word than they do on the individual vowels. Seriously, if you put the stress on the wrong syllable, like people might struggle to understand you, even if your vowels and consonants are flawless. Word stress is kind of the hidden key to sounding completely natural.
Section 5, Sentence Rhythm and Flow, putting it all together. Now we reach the macro level, linking our perfectly stressed words into full, flowing thoughts.
When asking a simple question like, "How are you?" your voice naturally creates a rising and falling pattern. It's almost like an animated sound wave. How are you? The voice dips and then rises at the end. It's exactly this melody that signals to the listener that an answer is expected.
But for a statement, the rhythm totally changes. In I like English, we punch the stress on the main content words, like and English. Say it with me. I like English. Notice how the sentence finds a steady, confident downward rhythm at the end. That rhythm shows absolute certainty.
Let's try something a bit longer. We are learning together. I want you to repeat this sentence aloud, but here's the trick. Let the words flow smoothly into one another without stopping. We are learning together. This is called connected speech. Native speakers rarely pause between words in a single sentence. They link them together in one continuous flowing sound wave. And honestly, this is exactly why English often sounds so incredibly fast to learners. It's not actually speed, it's just continuous linkage.
Section 6, Your Daily Practice Guide, Turning Knowledge into Habit. To wrap up this explainer, let's outline exactly how you can turn these mechanical building blocks into powerful daily habits.
I highly encourage you to pause the explainer right here and use these words as a quick daily drill. Practice everything from the short vowels in apple to the middle word stress in computer, all the way up to complex multi-syllable flows in beautiful and excellent. Run through this whole list every morning just to warm up your articulation muscles.
And as you build your routine, keep these 5 actionable steps in mind. First, learn every sound. Really understand the physical mechanics of your vowels and consonants. Once you got the movement down, step 2 is to practice daily. Because remember, this is entirely about building muscle memory. As you practice, move to step 3. Listen carefully to native speakers to absorb their natural rhythm and connected speech. Then step 4, repeat aloud. You literally cannot improve pronunciation just by reading silently. You have to physically move the muscles. And finally, step 5, speak confidently.
Ultimately, you've absolutely got to keep practicing every single day. Consistency is the true key to unlocking your confidence. Your lips, your tongue, your airflow, they all need regular workouts just like you train for a sport.
So, I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. Think about your very next conversation. What is one single difficult word that always trips you up? Is it comfortable? Is it specifically? Pick that one single word right now. Find its stressed syllable, master its mechanics, and practice it perfectly today. Thanks for joining me on The Explainer, and happy practicing.